got a recipe here she made for me. And I used to talk to her all the time. This hoe trying to fucking bully me. Fucking the auntie's dead now. She went to hospital, fret. Her last days were in fucking pain because of this asshole. So he fucking practically murdered her. That's the murder scenario I was telling you about. Because they were trying to entertain me. They were bullying me. This is how fucked these people are. People are having a hard time believing the story. People want to... I'm talking to someone now about it. She's trying to tell me I'm schizo, this and that, imagining things. I'm like, no. This whole year, I've been having realizations every day about the last 6 years of my life, which has been a fraud and orchestrated by the government body, the government system. Those Brownie Towers are full of old people, and the Salvation Army is in there, and HOMESWEST is in there. They all government. They've been watching us. And they're entertaining people that are depressed as well, with technology. And there's Corryn Rainey's and Loyd Rainey's wife that disappeared, the hall right there next to the towers. This area here has been under surveillance because of her, because they still haven't got a murderer or whatever, I'm sure. I don't know the exact story. So this area is watched by a few people, I'm sure, especially the police and all that, seeing as they're still looking for a murderer. So anyway, there's a lot going on with this area. The drug dealers up the road, yeah? So that's the story that happened with this guy, Kim, and that poor old lady, Cindy. Asshole. Now there's another story here. This year, this is when the voices started bullying the crap out of me. They started bullying me big time. You see what they done? They worked on my leg. 2011 to 2014, I've told you about them orchestrating my jobs. They gave me shit jobs I didn't know. They took my jobs from me. They took my houses, my cars, my kids, my investments with my jobs here, my power. They've been fucking my hip up. Now they've got my hip fucked up and they've diagnosed me with avascular necrosis, which is bullshit. So now the system's got me fucked now. I can't work. You see? This is a process they've been having since 2011. So now in 2015, I can't work. Their process has been working. This is what they've been doing to me because they say I'm a rapist, pervert, and a pedophile. And a criminal, armed robber. So they've been punishing me outside of the law. Through the fucking mental health system and the health system, HOMESWEST, Department of Corrective Services or Child Protection or whatever. And I didn't know this is going on behind my back, that the government all know me in the system as one dog. Because they've been watching me. They've got me under surveillance and listening to me with technology. You see how this phone rang right now? It'll ring at certain times when I talk about certain subjects. This was the government subject. If you look at my videos and you listen to when my phone rings or when this fridge kicks in, listen to what times it happens. I know if you police, you probably will do that, but otherwise it won't mean much to everybody. This is part of the technology that people bully me with. My fridge kicks in at certain times. My phone will ring at certain times, all based on my mood and what I talk about. It's technology, bro. Top of the fucking range technology that you wouldn't believe existed. Yeah, man. How do you think I feel? I'm just a minion walking around in society, bro. People are constantly talking to me 24/7. I can hear them and I can communicate back to them. I don't even have to say nothing. How do you think I feel when I'm walking around surrounded by 100 people? And half of those people are told to be there for me. Oh, mate, I tell you what. It's unbelievable. It's hard to believe, I know. Now this year, these voices down, when I was smoking out the back, they started bullying me hard. When I was hanging up the washing, they're like, what are you doing? They said to me, yeah, that's it, get mad, get mad. Because I was hanging out the washing, I always do it. Say 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And now I could always hear these voices, but they weren't bullying me. In 2015, they started bullying me badly, getting loud, leaving me nowhere to go, you know, very emotional, very mentally abusing me. Yeah. I was hanging out washing one night and they said to me, yeah, that's it, get mad. Because I was getting mad and inside I'm going, fuck this, what the fuck is it? They were saying, yeah, that's it, get mad. I didn't know that they can decipher what I'm saying inside. If I go like this, they know what I'm saying. They can decide, they decipher it somehow. It's something to do with my breathing and the inside and little medium sound waves or something like that. Gaps in my breathing or something. It's technology, bro. So that's what they done when I was hanging up the washing. Now there's a story here that I don't know if I should tell you now or wait till I figured it out. But I'll tell you. These voices, they started saying to me, you feel shit. You feel shit. I'm sitting smoking my cigarettes out the back. Just chilling, blowing cigarettes. Blowing smoke rings with my cigarette smoke. And I can hear these voices bullying me. They saying to me, you feel shit. You feel shit. Hey, next minute, as I go to puff my cigarette, WRX starts fucking driving down the street. You know what I'm saying? Every time I'm relaxed or I go to do something, a dog barks. So I must go like this now. As I'm going to smoke and the dog barks, it's like I'm looking sporadic in my movements. I'm looking like a druggie, you check? I'm looking like I'm fucking confused or something. Or moving like I'm twitching. This is a fucking orchestrated game that they make happen. There's cars on the road waiting for me to move and smoke my cigarette, and then they rev up their cabs. Dogs are trained to bark with ultrasonic shit that they've also got in my ears. I can hear it constantly. But they've got dogs trained to bark when I'm moving, when I'm doing something. Like if I went to smoke or I went to get up, the dog will go, whoop, 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 start barking. So I'll move jittery or twitchy, like, you know. So it looks like I'm fucking high and I'm fucking, like I'm a fucking zombie or robot. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe this shit. That time, 2015, I'm wondering to myself, hey, this is too coincidental, man. You know, this is happening every time. I'm just sitting out here chilling, man. You know, I'm out here having a cigarette. This is my spot where I'm supposed to feel comfortable. And they know that. So now they've made my comfortable spot fucking uncomfortable and shit, They're messing with my inner peace, This is no bullshit. They're messing with my inner peace this time. Like I said, at the time, I just thought it was a little too coincidental. Now I know it's a fucking intricate, orchestrated strategy, that they use, bro. When I move, someone is given a signal to rev his car, When I go to smoke my cigarette, someone's giving the dog a signal to bark. When I move somewhere else, people are orchestrated to talk loud and make a noise. I'm telling you, everything I do, someone's countering it with noise, or barking or something. So I end up walking and even talking, like I've got to think too much and to recollect information. They're trying to make me slow and like mental problems, I don't want to say nothing about Haley and the mental health system, but they're bringing me down in my intelligence and my form. Up until today, this has been happening for fucking the last 5 years at least. They've been working on my form. Before that, on my form now, since 2015. From 2011 to 2015, they were taking away my power with my work and my hip and my jobs. That's why I don't have my house and my cars and my kids. They took it away from me. This is what they planned. Because they couldn't make me guilty in a court of law. Because I'm not guilty. So they've orchestrated my demise outside of the law. Through the government. They everybody knows. The police, everybody. There's a story coming up here with a cop from the UK, I'll tell you. So now the voices are also saying to me, you feel shit, you feel shit. They still say that to me today. I'll tell you in 2017 with the story why they tell me that. You won't believe this. So the voice is saying, you feel shit, you feel shit. What? Huh? Huh? They bully me so I can't relax now. When I'm in my room, I'm constantly going out for a cigarette. I'm sitting there staring at my TV like this. And I can hear the voices saying, we're looking past you. We're looking through you. You look stupid. And I don't know where the fuck they're coming from. Little did I know these cunts are looking at me through the TV. They were looking right at me in my room. I'm staring at the TV. I'm trying to figure out where the hell are these voices coming from. Who the fuck is talking to me and from where? So I'm staring at the TV like spaced out because I don't know what. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So can you imagine how I look to the people in the TV looking back at me? They making me look like that. And I think they exploiting me to everybody looking like a fucking junkie or a fucking spaced out zombie. And you know what they done with this Murphy and this Haley case? They done that. They made me look spaced out and like a zombie. And they organized crack for me through drug dealers they've let go. That's part of why I'm telling the story. So they've organized crack for me, right? The system. They're watching me through the TV. Now, because they can't make me guilty for Haley and Murphy of being a rapist, right? And a pedophile for all these dirty pictures and all that. They're saying things to me. You look stupid. You're a junkie. We can see you. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm sitting there staring at my TV into space, which is the TV, trying to figure out who's talking to me and fucking where are they talking to me from. So I'm looking like a fucking stupid, all right? But little did I know, they're looking at me from the TV. And they saying all these things to me. So I'm looking stupid and fucking like, I'm looking dumb, like I can't comprehend stuff, right? So they made me look like that and exploited me like that to the system, right? You know why? So they can say that I couldn't comprehend if Haley shook her head. So I couldn't comprehend that that means no. And with my wife saying stop, they're saying that I wouldn't have been able to comprehend that she meant stop. So they're making me look druggy-like, incomprehensible, like a zombie. So they're making me look like I wouldn't be able to understand anything if you're saying anything to me. But the funny thing is, those situations, Haley and my ex-wife, had nothing to do with drugs. There was no drugs involved. So they're making me look incredible, untrustworthy and incompetent. And they're exploiting me to the system to make me guilty, so they can say I'm guilty. So they don't need the law courts. It's the mental health system and all that shit bullying me, making me look incompetent and untrustworthy and incomprehensible. Can you believe that? This is what they've done to me. That's why nobody has asked me what happened in these situations. Why wouldn't they ask me? Because they're making me look like I wouldn't be able to stand up for myself and defend myself and answer their questions. That's why they've done it. Can you believe that? This is what's been going on in my life behind the scenes. While I thought those people before 2015 were my friends, they were my enemies. They were setting me up. They were making me look untrustworthy, incompetent, uncredible. It was all a process. Now they've got to fuck my hip up and my job and my work and everything. Now I'm unemployed on the dole. And then I'm hanging out with drug dealers. So they've got me exactly where they want me. This has been a process since 2011. Can you believe that? They've sent my friends and all that to fucking bully me and show me up. But they've taken everything away from me and fucking dogged me. And how come my family and that is in on this trip? How come everybody believes the system's bullshit? Saying I'm a rapist, a pedophile, a junkie and a pervert. Where's my loyalty and family trust? Who's standing up for me? Up until this day, still nobody. I'm still trying to see my daughter until this day. They all knew about my daughter. I didn't even know this time that my ex-wife and the system is keeping my daughter away from me because they're exploiting me, dabbling in drugs. Can you believe that? And I've got dirty pictures, so they're trying to make me like a dirty like a pedophile, because of my cousin and this and that, because of dirty pictures and what I said about young girls and this. They fucking dogging me and making me look like everything incredible, bro. And I didn't know that docs is a part of it, the child protection, that the system's exploiting me. And that my wife, when she walked away in 2013, my ex-wife, they've all been a part of it. They've been keeping my kids away from me. I didn't know this. Boy, I can't believe this. This whole year I've been figuring it out, man. I've been figuring out 6 years of my life that's been a fraud. And it's been mentally challenging and mentally draining, bro. I'm up here, and yeah, there's so much going on. But I'm well in control of it, man. You know what I'm saying? This story you can't believe. How do you think I feel? I live it. This is the truth. Some of it might be a little off, but you ask the questions to the right people. They know. Now this time, now my mother, right? I was saving up my dole marcher because I wanted to get a smoke of Craig, right? Because now I'm on the dole, I'm not working, you check? Now they've taken my money from me, the system. Now my mother, right? I saved up my money to get a sack of Craig for $300, my dole money. And I was happy because I didn't want to intravenously use a drug. I want to rather smoke it, right? Now my fucking mother, they all knew this. Because that day, I was going to get something of Craig. My mother said to me, I've got to start paying rent now. Can you believe that? The whole time I've been there to save money, I haven't been paying rent because I've been working. Because she let me get away with it. Now that the system's fucked me up, fucked my leg up, put me on the dole, made me unemployed and exploited me and made me look like a druggie, my mother wants me to start paying rent. Now that I'm unemployed. You check. What's going on? You want me to start paying rent now that I'm unemployed? So she's also in on making my life harder and difficult. It's not about drugs. Drugs was an excuse they had. It's about making my life difficult and harder. It's nothing to do with me hating or being upset. It's them orchestrated this plan to make my life difficult because they believe that I'm something I'm not. They exploited me and they didn't like what they saw or heard. And it's not my fault, it's not my problem, but they're punishing me for it. I didn't know anything of this was going on. So now she wants me to pay rent. She wants to make my life harder. All this time I've been working, you didn't want me to pay rent? Ow! Now she wants to make my life difficult. Now I can't get any gear off Craig if I wanted to. I might have to intravenously use a bloody drug. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tried to avoid. Ow. Now she's playing a part of this game and it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Too comfortable with messing with my fucking personal life and orchestrating it the way you think it should go. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? I might be living in my mother's house, but I'm a grown man and I've got my own life and my own way of doing things. I know how to kick it my way. People are messing with that. They've contradicted my way of doing things. And now my life is fucked up. Yeah, by 2015, I didn't know all this was going on, man. Whew. Man. I went to see Mr. KUSTER, my hip surgeon. Apparently well-known surgeon in Perth. He does a lot of the hip transplants. I went to see him. Now he was talking about Daniel Ricciardo, the F1 driver, you check? Now I realized that he was talking about Daniel Ricciardo because he was trying to get me anxious and hyped up because Daniel Ricciardo is an F1 driver. It's fast. You know, everything's fast. It's F1. He's basically taking the piss out of me, I think. That's what he was doing. Because people know what I'm getting up to behind closed doors. I told him I dabble in drugs intravenously. Only because I couldn't afford it now. Because I got to start paying rent. Now, yeah, I went to see KUSTER and we sat down and had an interview. And that's the only time I saw him in an interview, pretty much. But he'll come back in the story when I get my hip replacement. I'm not even sure he'd done my hip replacement. On the day of my surgery, I didn't even see him. Now everybody's acting strange. 2015 day at the Towers. Cindy, the lady from downstairs, she was giving me a big apple. She's got big apples. This is all metaphorically for them entertaining themselves with apples, you know. Something to do with sexual connotations and all this crap. Ken, Ben and Sam. Now Ben, Sam was Ken's missus. She's a drug user. And she was always banging up gear. Now her son, Ben, right? He said to them that this other guy, Max, the other guy from the Towers, that Max raped him, right? He said that he was playing games or something and Max put his dick in his ass. So basically Max raped him. That's what Ben said to his mother and Ken and them. Now I'm quite fine. I was a little tired, I think, but they're telling me this, right? And I thought to myself,